morning. Good morning, and welcome to Morning Brew with, yes, it's your girl Germaine. And I hope everybody's doing well. I am trying to put my phone on mute because I always forget to do it, but we are all set. But I hope everybody's doing good. Today's a beautiful day. It's a little chilly outside where I am, but it's a good day. And I hope you're having a good day as well. So, if you decided today that you was going to stop by for morning brews coffee break with me and conversation, well, you know what, I'm glad you thought about that, to take a few minutes out of your day to stop by. So here we are, and today's brew is: consistency is a relationship, not a schedule. So you know how we do. We take a pause so we could pour into purpose. And yep, I already brewed my coffee. Sorry. Morning. I already brewed my coffee today. My hazelnut that I go for, I need to shake it up and try some new blends. And I will, with some new relationships in this season. So give me a second. Mm. Well, here we are. So let's get into it because, I decided that I'm going to take just quick coffee breaks, so you can come back again tomorrow because there's always something happening here on Morning Brew. So let's get into: consistency is a relationship, not a schedule. So, yes, take a minute to take a pause because we're getting ready to pour into purpose shortly. But let me just set this up for you. We've been taught that consistency means showing up the same way at the same time, no matter the cost. That's what we think about consistency, most of us, right? But real consistency isn't about pressure or performance, it's about relationship. And I'm learning that. Consistency is one of my keywords for 2026. Yes, I did carry it over into from 2025 into 2026, but it is definitely one of my keywords. So I want you to start looking at it a little differently from how we normally would look at it. So, right now, consistency, look at it being about a relationship. So, when you're in a relationship, your purpose, I mean, with your purpose, with your calling, with your community, consistency becomes sustainable, not exhausting. Mm. So think about it. And good morning, Cynthia B. Simmons over on Instagram. Good to have you here. Today, we're talking all about consistency is a relationship, not a schedule. I want you to start looking at it differently, being consistent, in your life, showing up every day for whatever that thing is that you decide. I must be consistent with this because I need to see something transform. It could be anything, whatever it is. So, but let's get ready to pour a little into purpose. So, this is our segment where we begin to pour into purpose. All right. So, let's talk about it. Consistency grows from connection. Who you show up differently when something matters to you. Does that sound familiar? Hmm. You show up differently when something matters to you. I always say people do exactly what people want to do. If they don't want to do it, they're not showing up to do it. So, consistency grows from connection. Yes. So, you will show up differently when something really matters to you. Also, let's look at relationships create rhythm, not rigidity. Uh, Rhythm in sync, synchronization, a rhythm, a movement. Yes, relationships can create that. So, alignment keeps you engaged even when energy shifts. Hmm. Let's continue to pour a little more. So, pressure produces burnout, not faithfulness. Are you under pressure? Do you feel a lot of pressure to get something done, to get it done? So, but at what cost? That pressure. What type of pressure are you putting yourself under and at what cost? So let's talk a little bit about it. Schedules without grace lead to resentment. Now, you don't want to be resentful of that very thing you're trying to work out, right? So, start scheduling your time, schedule your time. Just like my coach V said, Dr. V says, schedule your 24 hours. It's 24 hours in a day. So what he meant was scheduling out the 24 hours in your day to avoid, yes, burnout. Okay. And so performing consistency disconnects you from purpose. Who performing, performing consistency disconnects you from purpose. Yeah, this isn't a performance. Mm-mm. Whatever you do, and being consistent with it, let it be genuine. That's what's going to keep you showing up every day to be consistent with it, doing the same thing. Right now, mentally, I am preparing my mind to consistently show up every day to work out. Sometimes I talk to myself, I do, and say, listen, you got to fall in love with it. You got to fall in love with working out a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. And then guess what? You'll see the transformational results. Yes. So, yes, the beginning of the year, and at the top of the year, I'm probably not alone. We all think about this. Okay, need to start working out, working through some things. And yep. So, I know for me, I'm not going to talk a whole lot about it. I'm just going to be consistent and showing up to do what I need to do, even through the pain of it all. Even through the pain, I'm going to show up because I want to see the results. Yeah, that's why I'm going to show up. And I have to tell you, Morning Brew has been that for me. You guys have really been fuel in my engine to be consistent, to show up Monday through Friday. And I actually see the transformation results after. I mean, we're way past 90 days now, right? We're on the other side, almost closer to 1 year showing up consistently. And so, yeah, I know I can do it. Whatever I put my mind to, because this isn't easy. Preparing, sitting in front of a camera, talking to people I can't see, right? But I'm being consistent with it. And so I'm just going to use that same concept and flow it in a different direction with other things that I need to see progress in and transformation in. All right. So you don't own perfection, only presence. And I'm definitely going to keep that in mind. Okay. So let's pour a little more. Sustainability is the new standard. Consistency adapts as seasons change. Yep. So, sometimes when the season change, things are different. It looks different. I know where I'm from, there's 4 seasons. And so every season you can tell that the season has changed because there's a difference in the atmosphere. There's a difference outdoors, whether it's snow on the ground to flowers blossoming to the leaves on the trees changing to the cold is coming to rain. You just know that the seasons are different. And so consistency adapts as seasons change. Now, you can also apply that to your life, even in our life. You can look at, with me having 4 seasons, winter, spring, summer, fall, 4 seasons, you can also kind of align that with your life. What season of my life am I in? Right now, I'm physically in the winter season because it's cold outside. And yes, we've been having snow up here. But what is dying off in the winter season, right? Because the leaves aren't green, the leaves have all fallen from the trees. You don't see any flowers out. So we're in a season of probably getting ready for renewal. And so when I think about that, I'm thinking about myself. Where am I in my season right now and what's being produced, what's being created, what's changing, what's shifting? So it's something really good to look at, and where are you going to be consistent? What is the thing you want to accomplish? All right. Start focusing on that. I know I am. I am. And I'll be sharing some things on Morning Brew with you. Just some things that I'm focused on, and consistency is going to be one of the keys that is helping to fuel that very thing. Okay. All right. So, showing up with intention builds trust over time. Yes, be intentional this season. Don't just do it for the sake of, I'm just doing it because, no, be intentional. Be intentional with whatever you decide to put your time, energy, resources into. Be intentional about it. What is it that you want to see come from that? Okay. All right. So, long term impact requires long term care. It does. So being consistent, now there's some work you got to do. Consistency isn't just, okay, I'm just here. Mm-mm. In order for Morning Brew with Germaine to work, and me being consistent with it, there is things that I have to do. I have to take care of it in order for it to produce what it's producing, what needs to come from it in order for it to resonate with those that may be out there that's tuning into it, that's stopping by for coffee and conversation. So, yeah, long-term impact requires long-term care. You have to have a care plan in place. Just can't say one day I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna do this, and then it just is. No, there's some things you must do. And then there's some maintenance you must continue to do in order for it to be effective. Okay. All right, guys. So let's now do something we all can take part in, which is our reflection questions. Yes, you know how I like leaving questions for you. I like leaving you with something that you can carry throughout your day, and pretty much from there you can let it steep, you can let it marinate, you can let it, hey, whatever it's going to do, brew a little. But in our reflection questions, let me start with the first one. So these are questions you do not have to answer, they're for you. Okay, they are for you. So with that, when have you been forcing consistency instead of nurturing connections? Let me say that again. When have you been forcing consistency instead of nurturing connections? Hmm, I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm going to have to think a little longer on that, because it probably applies to me somewhere. Okay. But I want you to think about that. But let me give you question number 2. What would change if you allowed your rhythm to evolve without guilt? Let me say that again, because we do have a tendency of guilting ourselves, don't we? Feeling guilty about things. So let me say that again. What would change if you allowed your rhythm to evolve without guilt? Think about that. I want you to really think about these questions and see. And if you forget what these questions are, you can always go over to YouTube, to my channel, Morning Brew with Germaine, and you can just play it back so you can get the questions. Okay. So think about those 2 reflection questions. And hey, if you decide you want to share, you can share. I'm open to it. All right. So before we go into our final sip, I told you guys I am not going to hold you long. We're going to really truly do like these quick these morning brew coffee breaks. Yeah. So let's talk about this. So, if you don't know, I've created the newsletter. The Morning Brew, the weekly pour, is our extension of our lives Monday through Friday. So, it's the weekly pour, where you can stay engaged consistently through our digital newsletter. I don't really like using the word newsletter, but hey, it is what it is, right? But this is our digital extension of the Morning Brew. So, what I'm going to do, I am going to put the link into, let me see. Okay. So I'm going to put this link over into the different platforms. in the comments, so you have an opportunity to be able to, let's see, I'm trying to share it now. Well, that's part of the link, but it's in all the comments, okay? And it's something free that I really wanted to be able to, oh, hold on, bear with me. I really wanted to be able to give away for you to have. And so, with that, let me share it also on my Instagram. All right, for you to be able to download a copy of the extension of our weekly pour digital link. So, the hold on, let's see, let me get it together. So, the weekly pour, okay. Please make sure you download it. It comes out every Monday on Morning Brew with Germaine, Book Club Mondays. We'll be sharing this so you can stay engaged with us. So that's the link, the weekly pour. Hold on, I'm over on Instagram, um, just typing it in, and it should already be on my other platforms, my YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. It should already be on those platforms for you to be able to download for free. Yeah. Might give back to the community. And there is even a section in there for you, the community sip. Let me post this real quick on for anybody that wants to download that link over there. Okay. Also, um, you can go to our, I want to put this up on the screen too. I want to put up on the screen the website Morning Brew with Germaine. So you can definitely go over there and you can, on the website, you are able to go in and you are able to subscribe to the newsletter so you can never miss the weekly pour. All right. So do that. And while you're over there, on Morning Brew with Germaine, make sure you sign up for our book club as a reader, a participant reader. If you want to be a part of the discussions when we bring and talk about a new author's book every single month. So, right now, we're pretty much just building it up right now so we can create this reading audience for our authors that's going to be joining us once a month. And we'll be spotlighting them on Mondays on our book club Mondays. Okay. So make sure you do that if you have not already. Stop by Morning Brew with Germaine and make sure you, hey, just be a part of our community, be a part of our book club. All right. And so I'm looking forward to you showing up. Yep. All right. So let me get back to, because now we're coming to our final sip. Yes, this is our final sip. And so, in our final sip is where I pretty much just leave you with a summary of today's conversation, today's brew, but also I leave you with three things that, I call them the call to actions, but three things that you could take with you on your journey today. So, in our final sip, consistency isn't about, excuse me, doing more. It's about staying connected. Keep that in mind. Consistency is about staying connected. When you're rooted in relationships, showing up becomes natural. It does. And not heavy. That's the thing. You don't want to feel like it's work. No, you want to feel like it's a rhythm, it's a flow. This is organic the way it's happening, right? Yes. So, you don't want to feel like it's heavy. So let me leave you with some things. So, you know, we like to sip slow. And with that, we honor your rhythm. We're going to pour intentionally. We're going to choose alignment over pressure. And we're going to keep showing up. Let relationships, not rigid schedules, lead the way. So that's what we're going to do. Okay. All right. So, I just want to say hi, Shawnee Anderson over on Facebook. Good morning. I hope you get a chance to go back and listen to the morning brew today. We just pretty much wrapped up with our final sip. But today's message, just so you know, because I know you may have been looking from afar, but I thank you so much for chiming into the community. I just want to say consistency is a relationship, it's not a schedule. It shouldn't feel heavy. Mm-mm. So, with that being said, guys, thank you so much. Tomorrow is Authors Brew Friday. Make sure you stop by and let's see who's going to join us in studio tomorrow. So, um, no, Shorty, don't worry about it. You may have missed it, just being a part of the live, but yes, please watch the replay. And you know what? In the threads, oh, let me see, because it might be. Hold on, let me check my threads because I want to make sure people can go and download the actual weekly pour, which is our free newsletter that we're sharing with everybody. So I'm going to put it in here. Let me see if it's sharing to all. It should share to all. It should be in my it should be in Facebook, the link. But let me just share it one more time for anyone that wants to download the weekly pour. Okay, I just shared the link again to download the weekly pour. And hey, let me know if just chiming in for coffee and conversations, how you're enjoying it. I want to know. It's important. It's important. I show up because I want to engage in community. So you're so welcome, Shawnee. All right, guys, listen, have a great day. And please, whatever you do, be safe out there. And I'll see you tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time if you decide you want to stop by for a quick coffee break and conversation. Have a great day. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.